short story about her life that will weave them all together. The first thing about Avadale, love of life. She was full of vibrant energy of life. She loved to perceive what was going on, and she gave back enthusiastically. She loved nature, birds, trees, sparkling of sunshine on the water. She loved people, all manner of human expression, cultures. And she gave back with her vibrant exuberance that she couldn't contain sometimes. Now, those of you who know her as a sober, serious, thinking person may not realize that she could be silly and goofy and like to dance and clown and carry on. The second thing about Avadale, she could make do. She knew how to put her shoulder to the wheel, nose to the grindstone, get a job done, and she could make a penny last a month. But not just get by and do. She could take simple elements and turn them into works of beauty. She could make a lovely suit of clothes, or set of furniture, or meal, or wall decorations, or artistic production with almost no resources whatsoever. Simple things, and her creativity became things of beauty. Number three, she was, in the best sense of the word, a classic do-gooder. She worked with heartfelt conviction to support individuals and groups that were less privileged than she or than others, that got the short end of life's stick, the have-nots, the underclass, the underdog. And number four, she was anti-authoritarian at whatever level. Husband. Government, church authorities, educational institution authorities, whatever is the bureaucracy, the hierarchy, anyone who took it on him or herself to exert authority over others, she resisted that because she so believed in the equality of all and freedom of choice for everyone and dignity of the individual, and to not be lorded over or dictated to or corralled. So those are my four things about Avadale I wanted to share. And now I want to tell a brief life story of Avadale that helps me see how some of those themes came to be or how they worked themselves out. Avadale was a hard times kid. She was 4 years old when the Great Depression started. So she grew up in poverty. She was a poor family to start with, but only got worse. To compound things, her birth father, abandoned the family, leaving her to be raised by her her mother, who was emotionally needy and had to scrabble with menial work to try to keep a roof over their head and food in the mouth of her and her brother. Her brother was emotionally distant, and part of the time they had her schizophrenic, or soon to be schizophrenic, aunt living with them. So challenging times. When she eventually married and forged a new life, things were better, but still they were never very comfortable. It was always a struggle, and having 6 kids didn't make things easier. Usually single income, teacher salaries. It was a stretch. But along the way, so with all of those the hard times experiences, the lack of emotional support, I think Avadale had a lot of struggle with that. And so she experienced the pain, the loneliness, the confusion of what you do when it's hard to make ends meet and there's nobody to talk to. And that gave her the opportunity to develop her skills at being frugal, hardworking, making things stretch, and bringing her natural, I think, joy of life, love of beauty, to find an expression without a lot of money to help it happen. And it also gave her, I think, profound empathy for others in similar situations, the have-nots, the underprivileged, the disenfranchised, and motivated her to work on their behalf, vicariously sort of working on her own and her family's behalf. She was let down profoundly by some institutions, and I think that contributed to her dissatisfaction with authoritarianism. When she and Charles decided to leave the mission field in Congo because things weren't as they had expected, the church was not supportive, and Charles and Avadale were sort of persona non grata of the church and had to finance their own way back to the U.S., spending down their last reserves to do that. So they returned to the U.S. as displaced persons, almost refugees, back in their own country, nowhere to go, no job, nowhere to live. The Vietnam War had a profound effect on Avadale. She'd been a loyal government-supporting citizen, but gradually became disillusioned and finally became quite bitter about what was going on when she came to think of it as unjust and inhumane. And of course, the Watergate scandal didn't help confidence in government. And she later had many frustrations with the educational system bureaucracy. When she was working on behalf of newly arrived immigrants from other countries, non-English speaking, again using her talents to help welcome those people to our community and give them a leg up so they wouldn't be the underclass forever, finding lack of understanding on the part of the administration and some scornful or rejecting attitudes on the part of many within the academic hierarchy and so forth, for her and Charles's either lack of historical wealth, lack of the right cultural ties, not coming from the right place, whatever. So all of those experiences fueled her desire to reach out and help others level the disparities in money, status, prestige, all the while bringing her innate joy of life and beauty and exuberance to everything she did. So those are the themes about Avadale I wanted to share with the group. She's left those with us 6 kids as her legacy. We've embraced them or rejected them to varying degrees, each in his appropriate way, but we've not been able to ignore them. I will say that Avadale's passing has for me been a wonderful time, an amazing time of reflection and reconnecting, bringing all these decades of my experience with her, and even before I appeared, memories appearing together and helping me come to the place where I could share these thoughts today. But I think my understanding of Avadale, as maybe will be true for all of us, is a work in progress and will continue to mature and ripen. I look forward to seeing what the next inspirations will be. Thank you, Mom.